Welcome to the board of the Bantu. My name is Isobel and I am your local witch doctor. I always open the board with an anecdote or an ode to my ancestors or to other people, but and sometimes a story. And I am going to open this board with a story. And the story is that I have discovered in my old age, and that's why they call it wisdom, that home is the most important thing. It is your very, very foundation. It is who and what you are. And when I talk about home, I'm talking about the culture that you are born in, the roots that made you, because you grew from roots. Because when your world falls apart, it's your roots that will hold on to you. Everything else will disappear or walk away, but it's your roots that will hold on to you. And for me, I am blessed to have my roots in South Africa. I am like the aloe ferox. Only I got displaced. Someone put me in a pot plant and I ended up in another part of the world. But that's where my roots are. And so today I will honor everybody's roots. I will honor your beginnings. I will honor where your line began. I mean, where your ancestors were from. Where they were from are where your roots are. So today I honor everybody's roots. I honor all your roots, people, and I urge you all to get DNA tests because I know you're all Bantu. You're all going to have Bantu in you. And if you have 1% Bantu, if you are 1% Bantu, the God of the Bantu claims you if you so choose. So go back to your roots. Go back to your roots. Okay? I mean, you don't have to do it physically, but find your roots and go to them because they do give shelter, they do give security, they do give love, and they do give a direction. They bring back that smile that you thought you lost. Okay. So I sit here in complete and total appreciation, love, and humility for my culture, for my people, the Xhosa, the Shona, the Khoi. I sit here in total appreciation for the roots that make me the plant that I am. And on that note, the board of the Bantu is now open. And today we are reading Jennifer and Ben Affleck. Because, we followed that relationship when it began. Again, it was a teetering relationship. And then, it flourished. We were not even sure whether it was going to flourish or not because one of them was not into it, Jennifer, and the other was into it, Ben. And so just to give a background for those who were born after the story, once upon a time there was a Benifer. Isn't it interesting that they started with Ben? Once upon a time, there was a Benifer, and they were in love. This was a match made by God. It truly was. No joke. It was a match made by God. And they were so in love and they were so happy to have found each other. Ben had issues. He was a drug addict. And if you look at his pictures, you can see that glassy look. His old pictures when he was younger and even acting, you can see that glassy look of a drug addict. That glassy, spaced out, I'm not there look. But he knew what love was. And he gravitated towards his woman and he asked her out and he put a ring on it and everybody was happy. Even I was excited because I was into that business, And then they broke up. Then they started planning their wedding and it was big and it was wonderful. And they broke up and Jennifer was heartbroken. She was heartbroken. She could hardly get up. She couldn't get up, people. She couldn't get up because she loved this man. She tried everything. But he was stoic. He was a strong white male and he wasn't having it. He was stoic. And when he said we're done, he meant we're done. And these were the reasons why Ben decided they were done. Racism. Let me say it again out loud for the people at the back. Racism. And once again, just because I am Xhosa and we believe in the triangle. Racism. Okay. his own internalized racism, and the comments of those around him. Okay, the comments around him, they were just so many, and what he knew to be true. So, his own internalized racism first, the comments around him, okay, and what was going on with himself, right? And the reality of what he knew. Jlo wasn't white. She was Hispanic and proudly stood on it. He couldn't deal with the way people treated her, but even worse, he couldn't deal. When I say people, I mean the white people. Because, they might just start censoring us. And I don't, yes, these people, okay? These people, right? So he couldn't deal with the way they were treating her. He would take her to public spaces and they would treat her some sort of way. And then by treating her as less, they were treating him as less. They were saying, you are less. You've gone down so low. You've gone down so low. Then there were comments that his career will be ruined. His career will be damaged. His career will be dead in the water. There were those comments too. Your career will be dead in the water. Your career will be damaged. You cannot be with Jlo. And just to prove it, they made a movie. And the movie tanked. It tanked at the box office. And these people were very happy. They were very happy because they proved their point. They had shown him that she was completely unsuitable. So they got him a suitable woman. The other Jennifer, who is, to me, very sweet on the outside because I've never read her. But they got that Jennifer. And I was a fan of her too because I loved her Alias thing. That's how old I am. I watched her in Alias and I loved her. Great actress. Anyway, they hooked Ben up with her, Jennifer. That was arranged. That was organized within the industry. Okay, that was arranged. So then they hooked up. I don't mean like they said marry, but they hooked them up for a relationship. So they had a relationship, and that Jennifer, poor thing, she also walked into Ben's drug addiction and his alcoholic drinking. He Irish people. The Irish are all about that drink. So anyway, and I should know. So don't argue with me if you're Irish, because there's Irish DNA in my system over here. So anyway, they hooked him up and said, she's more suitable for you. You will make money. You will recover from being with a non-white female. And that is exactly what happened to his career. It recovered. He rose again. Now Ben could do no wrong because Ben had accepted the status quo of life as it has been written by these people. You're right. He accepted the status quo. He ought to be happy. Everybody breathed a sigh of relief. And Ben married and Ben fathered white kids. And everybody was happy. Except Ben. So Ben drowned himself into more drugs and more alcohol. He became unruly. He became difficult. And poor Jennifer, being the other Jennifer, the white Jennifer was great support. She was great support. She was there for her husband. She was doing what she needed to do, but he did not love her. He did not love her. No, he didn't. And he has admitted it himself that she was his worst mistake. Okay? He did not love her. So he drowned himself in more drugs. And then eventually he went to rehab. After he had done lots of embarrassing things for these people, they had to drag his ass into a rehab facility and they had to dry him out. He went once. He went twice. He went 3 times. He went 4 times. He went 5 times. It did not click. It did not click because he was missing the other Jennifer. Okay. Eventually, he accepted it. He accepted that his internalized racism worked against their relationship. He accepted that. He didn't want to fall from the platform of being the strong white male who has everything to, oh, that white male married to a non-white woman. He didn't want that. You know, he admitted it. He admitted that the racism and the way the world is ordered stopped him from being with the love of his life. And because he wasn't with her, he spiraled and spiraled and spiraled. Racism has so many consequences, as those of us with this color are aware. Okay, we're very aware of it all day, every day, every day. It affects us all in so many ways, and for me, it has curtailed my social life. There was a time I would fly to England to socialize because I couldn't do it in Canada. So each and every one of us, we've had to find a way of coping with what is, because we can't change what is, especially if you are a black woman. Okay, so anyway, let me get back to this reading, because I feel like I'm going to be lecturing you all because I haven't spoken in a while. Okay, so after he dried out, he realized that he needed to do it right. And guess what? Jlo was free and open. So what we saw before we throw these shells, what we saw before we called their souls, what we saw was that the very same way he organized, the very same way his camp organized for him to be with the other Jennifer, was the way he was going to use to get to Jlo. And he used it. He used her compassion. The compassion only our kind and darker can have. He used her compassion. And he said, help me out. Help me. And she said, I'm there for you. And he said, can we look like we are a couple and that I've gone back to you? And she said, yeah, we can. We can do that. I can help you. I can help you. And this help you has turned into a dream come true for two lovers who were actually separated by race and nothing more. So we're going to see how Ben overcame it. We're going to see how he overcame it. Because the God of the Bantu says change starts from within. Ben did not pick the woman he loved because of her race. Nobody forced him not to pick her. He eventually made the decision that her race stood in the way of what he wanted out of life. It was him. It was him. So we're going to see how Ben Affleck overcame his racism and how he finally came correct to his girl and how she treated the whole scenario. All right. Now we can begin. Okay, if this video cuts off, because my videos cut off at 30 minutes and I did not record it, I will do a second, because I really feel that the growth of Ben Affleck is extremely important to the world. I really do. Well, my ancestors do too, but okay. Alrighty, let's blow the shell. Oops. Okay, this is going to be interesting, I hope, too. Okay. Ben, I always call the men first. Ben. No. Sorry. Grandma said we call the woman in first because we like to see the male soul's reaction to the female. So I gotta blow Ben away. Bye, Ben. Bye, Ben. Bye, Ben. I took a break, and this is what happens when you take a break. Okay, Jennifer Lopez. And Jennifer is so happy right now. We call this beautiful woman, because Jennifer has always been very gorgeous to me. I don't care what the world says. I find her the most beautiful woman in the world. I really do. To me, she's gorgeous. Jennifer walks into the plate, and Jennifer is sparkling. Her soul is literally sparkling. She's so happy. She's complete. She cannot believe that which she gave up a long time ago has come home. She's saying, he has come home. I never thought he would, but he has come home. So Jennifer is looking gorgeous. She's all sparkly. When you've done the right thing, or you are walking in the right path, right, your soul tends to show it, right? Your soul sparkles. I call it the light of God, and that is exactly what is coming from the veil. It's the light of God. She's happy. She feels like if anything else can go wrong in life, this at least went right. She said she regrets the years that were wasted, that he wasted, because she wanted to have kids with him. She wanted her kids to be his, but he chose otherwise. He didn't like me because I was dark. He loved me. Dark as in skin color. He loved me, but he didn't like me. He constantly wished I was white. And it's heartbreaking when someone you love and someone you have accepted wholeheartely, despite his color. Because I wasn't raised to love a non-Hispanic, non-Puerto Rican, but I did. But he didn't feel the same as me. Can you tell us what your relationship with him was like before? It was the most peaceful. It wasn't the most passionate. Puffy was the most passionate. I was passionate about Puffy. I was knee deep, knee bending, knee falling in love with him. But he didn't love me. He loved the woman he never married. And he didn't marry her because she didn't have the look that he wanted at the time. And it has become his biggest regret. I loved him. He didn't love me. That's what love is like sometimes. Love is like that sometimes. Girl, love is like that all the time. Ben loved me and loves me. I knew he loved me. I knew it. He loved me more than I loved him. And I thought this is going to work. When we were alone, just the two of us, we were so happy. We were so peaceful. We didn't really do anything crazy or wild, but we were happy and we were peaceful. And I kept him from drugs. Boom, boom, boom. I did. But there were times when I saw that look in his eyes, like, why did she have to be Hispanic? He had trouble accepting my culture and the little cultural things that I did, because it reminded him yet again that I wasn't white. Okay. Alrighty. And people think there are no race issues in interracial relationships. Yes, there are. Alrighty. So now I'm going to call Ben Affleck. The ray from the grave. The blast from the past. That's what we used to call men who come back after they dump you. We say, oh, that ray. Oh my God, a ray has come from the grave. A blast from the past has made its way back to me. And I'm like, what? So we're going to call Ben the ray from the grave. Okay. Ben. Ooh. Ben. Ooh. Ben. Ben. So, Ben walks into the plate. He is not as sparkly as Jennifer. He's dark, in fact. He's dark. He is going through it. This is shocking to me. He is going through it, and his people have him by the throat. They have him by the throat. His people. These people. Okay? They have him by the throat. They don't like it. Second time around, they don't like it. But he is ignoring it. This time he is determined. He literally walked into the place and went into his woman's arms. And Grandma says that's what we like to see. We like to see the reaction of the male to the woman. Right. So there you go. There you go, guys. This is shocking. There you go. Okay. He literally walked into her arms and she held him and her light went around him. He's also sick. He's actually sick. He has health issues. Something to do with his liver. He's sick. Something to do with his liver. And he's tired. He says the battle to get back to Jennifer was long and hard. And as you can see, I lost some things. Yes, he did. We were getting to that. Yes, he did, people. He lost a lot of money. A lot of money. He lost a home and opportunities because he decided to make his way back to the dark side. Okay, he did. He lost money and opportunities. He's lost a lot. But he says, I don't care. I don't care. What's left of my life, I must live my truth. I must live with the woman I want to be. I must live with the woman I want to be with. I don't care. I've worked hard for society. I've worked hard for other people. I've worked hard and I've given people things, but I've never given myself. If I'm not with Jennifer, I will die. True story. The Bantu confirmed that. The Bantu confirmed that. The Bantu do confirm that. It's true. He will destroy himself even more. She keeps him from doing that. True story. Okay, so we're going to take this couple out. I knew that this reading was going to be about racism in interracial, couples and how society affects the decisions and choices of people in interracial societies more than any interracial relationships, more than any other interracial relationship. More than any other relationship. Society and how it is built. Okay, with the white man being at the top of the ladder and the darker the skinned woman being at the very bottom of the ladder. I said this story before. My teachers told me that because you are black, you are the least important human being. They gave us a graph. Our teachers gave us a graph, and on that graph it was the importance of human beings. First, the white male, because he's the conqueror. He conquered everything, so he is first. And then the white woman, and then the black male, and then the black woman. I thought that graph was wrong. It is now my experience that graph is not wrong. We have a long way to climb. So anyway, here we go. Jennifer, and it's making me emotional because racism always does. It always does, because I want to live in that fake world where everybody's equal and everybody's happy, and I can wash off what happens to me just like this. But it's making me emotional, and I apologize to you all for that. It's making me emotional because it really does affect every facet of your life, and it does affect every decision you make when you are black. All right. Jennifer and Ben, show me your life. Jennifer and Ben, show me your relationship. Jennifer and Ben, show me your relationship. So this relationship is being led by Ben. Definitely Jennifer is hands off. She says because she learned a long time ago to be hands off. So this is a relationship. I don't have space here. And of course, the shell that fell on the other end of the table is stating that these two once broke up. And this is where we are. And they will break up again. Twice. We may or may not know about it, but they will break up again. One breakup is coming very soon, and it is definitely Jennifer who's going to put the spokes on it. She's going to say no, no more very soon, in about a couple of months. Very soon. The second breakup is also Jennifer, but it's not going to happen very soon. It may happen in a few years, but it is also still Jennifer who is going to put the brake on it. Like, nope, I'm done. The first time, it was Ben who did it. This is Ben, people. Ben, say hello to the people. And this is Jennifer. Jennifer, say hello to the people. And this relationship is harder on Jennifer than it is on Ben. And that makes sense. Okay, she is in protection mode. She is trying to protect herself, and that is why she will try to put an end to this union. Again, she's going to try to put an end to this union in a couple of months, and then she'll try it again. You know, she's scared. She is very, very, very scared. She is so scared. She is scared. She's scared that she said yes. She's scared that she brought him into her life. She is very, very scared. And he is on auto. The word that came was automation. And I'm going to try to translate this because my international translator translated it as automation. I'm going to try to simplify it. He needs to survive in this relationship, and he is literally closing his eyes, and he is saying, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I have to do what I have to do. Okay, like I'm going to do it. And so it's like he's working at it, and he is pulling Jennifer, like we said. He is really pulling Jennifer, and he is in charge of this relationship. He is in charge. In other words, he's making all the decisions. If they move in together, it's because he has decided we are moving in together. You know, the engagement ring, that was on him. Everything that is happening in that relationship is because of him. So because he's working so hard for it, I don't know where this cut off because I was in the veil. So I'm just going to repeat what I was saying. Ben is really working hard for this relationship. He's making all the major decisions. He's making all the moves, and he's having to be very strong. He's having to be very, very strong. Okay, people, I ain't playing with you. He is having to be very, very, very strong. Okay, he ain't playing. He is being very strong over here. And she is covering herself. She's afraid. She's protecting herself. And she is saying that, like she said, I will repeat it again. After Ben, I decided no more white men. No more white men. It hurts me so much. I gave everything I could, but he couldn't get over my skin color. I said to him, Ben, we will get through this together. We will get through this. I humiliated myself. I humbled myself.